Ali Fox, the character that you play, deplores the stultification of the political process, its disposable culture and corporate greed. And the only thing that he can do really is flee and start fresh, no matter how many times it takes. But the truth that many of us come to learn is that through this thinking, even on the other side, things can be terrible in new and fascinating ways. Obviously, you've been familiar with this story for quite some time with your uncle penning the original source material. But what greater truths has this narrative and its themes revealed to you that you've more or less adopted and have come to believe in?
Um, it's interesting. He's a kind of Ali's the kind of guy that I would love to have a coffee with, and pick his brain about his opinions and things like that. But I don't think I would want to be him, and I don't think I'd want to live with him, because he's by turns, hopefully, charismatic and infuriating.
Yeah.
His specific belief system is very much his own. One of the things I just like about him, just is the fact that he exists and that he has these what I think are sometimes very insightful takes on American culture and just his worldview. He's kind of almost, I don't even see him as political. I see him kind of as like sort of a true free thinker.
Mhm.
But the problem with him is his imposing that, and at a certain point indoctrinating his family to think like him, which is the opposite of what he would probably like, or what he would wish for himself, is to live someone else's ideals. So that's one of the things that drew me to playing him. He's just incredibly complex, and he's sort of an enigma. And as you pointed out, even though he sort of throws a bomb over his shoulder while leaving the U.S., he brings his personality with him,
Mhm.
and that goes wherever they go, and that's the problem, so I find him fascinating, for all those reasons.
Yeah, as do I. But it's not even just like the complexity of these characters. There's a lot of really poetic touches in here. Like something that stuck out to me while watching this series is how nature kind of hangs a sign out for Allie and his family to notice. Like there's the vulture, various decomposing animals, the butterfly, the scorpion with babies on its back, the snake.
Yeah.
And these characters, they take notice of them, but what can Allie really do but move forward no matter the outcome? So, what are your thoughts on these poetic touches, and are you someone who believes in signs like that?
Yeah, signs are the kind of, are whatever you project onto them, so when Allie sees a vulture, you can interpret that a zillion different ways. But it's really, what matters is how Allie interprets that. He might be thinking it's about bird migration patterns, or something along those lines. But nature is you're right, it's one of the sort of recurring themes in our show, because at the end of the day, the environment is, and I don't mean it in the environmental sense, but the actual environment that they're in. They're sort of these strange little road signs or talismans, that keep appearing to them, and it's never even discussed. The family doesn't discuss it. Like, hey, it's a scorpion with some babies on its back. It's a way of. There's one incredibly poignant one where Charlie finds a crab, and then he just starts dismantling it and putting it in a plastic bottle. It's just so odd and strange, but just obviously something incredibly man-made and something nature-made, which he then ends up destroying. I don't know, and just sort of this strange little poetic moment that serves no other purpose for existing other than it exists.
Obviously, there's a lot to unpack with a story as multi-layered and rich as this. How it examines American society, our tech-driven world, and corporate greed, but it also offers very human elements such as parenting. Was there a particular aspect, belief, or concept in all this that you gravitated towards the most, that you felt most informed how we should perhaps live our lives?
That's a great question. I think I'm sort of in agreement with consumerism and escaping capitalism and all of that. And I really, really support the Foxes in their decision to find a better life and just being able to live their life day to day, that they could live within 30 seconds. To me, that was an amazing concept, that you're not so burdened by your day to day rituals and the things that you need in order to survive. For them, they just need their family, and that was it. They only needed their family in order to survive. Of course, she has to have clothing and she has to have a few essentials in their bag. But what I loved about, and what I really, especially now that we've been in confinement for so long, is that life is about the simple things and the basics, and really holding true to really what do you need to survive. And at the end of the day, it's not really that much besides your loved ones. And so I feel like the thing I mean, I'm a mother to two boys, so being the maternal aspect was something I could relate to. And also each episode that goes along, you see a certain side of Margot that was also super fun to play. You know, she's able to get that family out of all sorts of trouble, and, you know, elegantly and safely. So this was obviously the fun side of the shooting. But, you know, the idea that the family doesn't waste things, they take something and they could reuse it. I think it was just a wonderful thing to see. It's like, no, you know, we could use that. And there's a lot of this show that I think will resonate with the audience, and I think it's a show that's quite timely.
Yeah, I agree. I would say the story also forces you to kind of think about the characters' mortalities and your own in a way. For instance, in I believe it is episode 3, and I won't reveal what it is specifically, but it involves the family taking things that could potentially bring them bad luck. However, Ali Fox doesn't see it that way. He sees them as tools for him and his family to survive, kind of like this damn the consequences, that's a problem for another day if it becomes one.
This is the way we should live our life, I think. I think there's a lot about what Ali says and Margot's behavior that is these are skills, I think, that a lot of people should try and incorporate into their day-to-day life. So even though we do extraordinarily crazy things, we don't see it as our fault. We just see it as like a loving family stuck in a situation where we're trying to seek a better life for us and our loved ones, and that's the way it is. But they're never sarcastic or when Ali says something, it's truly from the heart. He's so earnest, you can't help but love the guy, even though he's putting the family in all sorts of danger. He's like, but it's also that positive attitude that the two of them have, and they feed off each other a little bit like Bonnie and Clyde, I would say. But in this case, it's with two teenage kids watching their parents do all sorts of things, but they're not, they never say sorry. They're like, I'm sorry, but this is the way it is. You want to have no money? You want to have no food tonight? Well, you need to listen to us, and this is life. This is the hard side of life you're going to be seeing.
Yeah, I loved it when Allie's about to, like, trying to explain to the kids, hey, mommy and daddy are about to go do something, and then you're just get out of the car, like they understand kind of thing.
It's like, sweetie, could you pass me that bag? Not that one there, the empty one. Like, super,
Yeah.
like, my love, I'm just going to the grocery store. I'm just going to get some bananas and some fruit, and I'll be right back. To her, it was a conscious decision to deliver every line as if she was saying something else.
Yeah.
Never be like, I'm sorry, sweeties, but we have to go and get some money because, no, I'm sorry, we need it. You be cool here. I was watching this documentary, it was actually on Apple, about, you know, lions in the wild, and you can film them at night and you can see what they do. And it reminded me so much of Margot, because you have to leave your cubs behind in order to go and take care of what is really essential to this family. And I often thought, you know, when Margot has to leave her kids behind in order to go and get money, or in order to go and find Ali, or in order to go and make, you know, the pieces join together, I thought that was so the way I saw Margot, was just like, take care of the family, take care of the family.
Yeah. Well, I know we're out of time, but this was great. I love the show, and thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the good questions. Thanks, Preston.
This is going to be an adventure.
I'm scared.
Absolutely. If it didn't feel that way, it wouldn't be an adventure. need to go.